also provides a platform for Africans to export, for Africans to maximize on intra-trade and to promote growth. Also, when we look at the issues of climate change, they do border on the Paris Agreement on climate change in line with sustainable development. Also, trade and investment momentum has continued to gain ground, as we heard yesterday from the ministers of trade from different countries, which also included Malawi and Zimbabwe, as they did speak about how these issues do need to be discussed and how trade and investment are a game changer in as far as the African economy is concerned. But we can still look at issues of poverty that continue to characterize some parts of Africa. A common problem also that we have seen is the issue of youth unemployment. The answer to this also lies in the use of natural resources that Africa is indulging to complement some of the efforts that the heads of state are making in as far as promoting job creation, and these two can actually complement each other. We did hear that increase by 574% intra-Africa trade is expected going forward if we do look at just how these meetings will set the agenda for what is to come. One other key aspect that was looked into was the energy sector, and we did see that Zambia was represented in as far as the Copperbelt Energy Corporation is concerned. And looking at how energy also drives economies, the mining sector was not left out, and that is a key sector that continues to drive the economy in Zambia. And this is a sector that is being looked into in as far as development is concerned. Another exciting part that did actually characterize some of the meetings and a topic on the tables was the issue of the electric battery factory and how Zambia has continued to make strides in this sector and would like to see this sector thrive, because it is the answer to the continued developments that continue to characterize the country and its potential. Now, potential of success will also include continental value chains by the year 2035 and increase volumes of vehicles, automotive industry to grow by $40 million by the year 2027. And these are some of the conversations that will be taking place here. We're live from the Mulungushi International Conference Center. This is the 22nd COMESA Heads of State Summit.
Definitely an exciting time to be in Africa. COMESA speaking to the 22nd COMESA Heads of State and Government Summit. And here in Lusaka, Zambia, where the headquarters of COMESA is one of those that are saying the year 2023 will be one of implementation. And this was announced earlier in the month, when Foreign Affairs Minister, Commerce and Trade Minister, as well as Madam Chileshe Kapwepwe did say is strengthening its regional integration. Zambia is stamping its mark on the African continent. And of course, if you look at what are the benefits of COMESA to its 21 member states, you cannot remove the issue of agriculture production, which speaks to food security, and also the more exploitation of natural resources, how to harmonize money, banking, and financial policies, and also become and have a more reliable transport and communications infrastructure. These are some of the issues that have been spoken about in the last two meetings preceding this big one, the 22nd COMESA Heads of State and Government Summit. This one is sealing what has been spoken about the last 2 days. It is speaking to what the COMESA countries should do and should be talking about to make sure that COMESA is thriving. The first meeting after COVID-19, the physical one that is a symbol that Africa is ready to move. Zambia is expected to take over the chair of COMESA, and with authority from the Egyptians, it is coming to Zambia. President Hakainde Hichilema is already here and ready to receive that one. And COMESA Heads of State Government Summit is a meeting that is taking place, as you can see, in the beautiful KK wing of the Mlungushi International Conference Center. Zambian ministers are here to also give support, as we know that the theme for this year's COMESA Summit speaks to a lot in regards to green environment, green development, sustainable development, and tourism. This is the auditorium where all these conversations are going to be taking place. Heads of state from Common Market for Eastern and Southern African countries, the member states that are 21 of them, will be having discussions in what you're seeing right now. A lot of stakeholders from Africa and beyond, actually, coming to speak to African solutions, speaking to African innovations, speaking to African incentives, trade that can be had among the African states, which will then have all these developing countries in Africa attain the Sustainable Development Agenda. Secretary General Madam Kapwepwe had commented that this is one of those very proud moments for her, because it will also be an opportunity to showcase what Zambia has done in the economic social development space, how Zambia is ready to show the region that it is developing in agriculture, in infrastructure, in mining, and also very ready to show integration for a thriving COMESA. Just to remind you, the theme for the summit, which was jointly developed by Zambia and the COMESA Secretariat, is economic integration for a thriving COMESA, anchored on green investment, value addition, and tourism. Zambia now has a Ministry of Green Economy, which shows its commitment to the green agenda. It shows its commitment to making sure that the sustainable development for the country is also looking at the challenges of climate change and how each sector of Zambia's economy should speak to making sure that it's a responsible one and has green investments in its agenda and what it speaks to when it comes to making sure that it is adding to not only Africa but the globe as a whole. Over 3,000 delegates, and these are from the 21 member states. Two have already gone by. This is the big one where we are calling it the authority, because it has the heads of state in its presence. Also to remind you that Stanbic is associated with the broadcast of what you're seeing right now, the 22nd COMESA Heads of State and Government Summit.